So the Idaho legislative session has just ended in 2025. Is Idaho better off for it? Let's find out next. Hey everybody, Treasure Valley Dave Edwards here. You know, your great real estate agent by your side when it comes time to buy a home, sell a home, or even relocate to the Treasure Valley. And if you're going to come up to the Treasure Valley, you're going to call this your new home. Do you want to know if it's better or worse? Is it getting better or worse? I think you're going to have the answer to that as soon as we're done with this. And if it's worse, you might want to consider maybe moving to someplace else like LA or Bay Area or something. But if you think it's better, Idaho might just be your new home. So let's get right into it. And then at the end, I have an extra bonus piece of news for you that's going to cement your opinion one way or the other, even that much more. So let's get right into it. So a little groundwork here. So Ballotpedia talks about the Idaho legislative session 2025. And you probably already knew this, but we'll just go over it real quick anyway. In Idaho, the state Senate, 29 Republicans, 6 Democrats. The Idaho House of Representatives, 61 Republicans, 9 Democrats. So you can see it's pretty much very much a Republican-weighted legislature. And of course, the governor has typically been Republican as well. And we can see that right here in this chart that shows all the way back to 1992. Remember that? That was the year Bill Clinton came into office. So we had 3 Democrat governors back then, but then ever since then, we've had Republican governor, Republican Senate, and Republican House. Now, does that mean that they were always, grassroots libertarian, doing the right patriotic thing? No, not always. Sometimes, if you compare it to other places, it's probably been doing pretty good, but no, not always. There's been some times where they become more establishment or rhinos and things like that. And that's not good for anybody, right? Well, it is for them. So a way of kind of counteracting this rhino establishment thing going on, there's this group called Citizens Alliance of Idaho. And they've come together and they've kind of vet out, who are the real patriot senators, state senators, and representatives that we have here. And they had this pledge. And a lot of lawmakers signed up for that. And you can kind of really tell that these people right here, these are House members in Idaho and also senators. These are the patriots. These are the ones that when they vote, they have you in mind. They have your tax dollars in mind. They want to do the right thing, less government control in your life and give you more control in your life. And so, some of these people I've actually met. Some of them live right down the street from me. And the ones that I've met, they're all real good people. And their records for the ones I haven't met, they're outstanding as well. So the list just keeps going on and on. We have that many patriots in our state legislature. Can you say the same thing for yours? So there's this guy here, Matt Edwards. He's affiliated with the Citizens Alliance group that we were just talking about. And he put together this great summary that's kind of getting traction across the internet about the things that came out of this legislative session that are law or will be law when they take effect in July. And so here's his list right here. Let's take a look at it and see if any of this stuff is important to you. Does it give you a feeling that maybe Idaho is going the right direction? Let's find out. Citizens Alliance of Idaho is proud to announce that the 2025 Idaho legislative session officially concluded last Friday, marking an incredible chapter for our state. So here are some of the things that came out of that legislative session, and there's even more. But this is a highlight that this group put together, and I think you're going to find it very interesting. You will not be forced to undergo a medical intervention in order to study, work, or play. I think that harkens back to the COVID days, don't you think so? You will not be debanked for believing something. So if you have a particular view of something or other and you're bold enough to actually say it in public, they can't debank you for that. That's kind of nice. You will not be forced to share a restroom, locker room, or prison with a man if you are a female. Well, that could be pretty handy. You will not be forced to wear a mask to participate in society. You won't have to, but if you're going to rob that liquor store, come up here from California and using your skills, I'd still suggest go ahead and use that mask. you can use some of the money promised to educate your child outside of the public school system on what works best for your family. And we talked about that recently in a video, and I'll link that at the end if you want to check that out one more time. But that means that whether you're send your child to a church school, to a charter school, or even homeschool, you can get a certain amount of money back from the state to make that happen. Also, DEI requirements, didn't earn it requirements in higher education are gone. You won't find refugees and illegal aliens being granted free services that citizens don't even get access to. The World Health Organization has no power here in Idaho. Idaho for Idahoans, right? Health districts must base public health recommendations on science and are not permitted to do all things. And we saw an example of that during those COVID years. Boise, Ada County, that is in the Central District Health jurisdiction. And over here in Nampa and Caldwell, here in Canyon County, we're in the Southwest District Health District. And over here in Canyon County, we had really no impact at all. You could do anything. You didn't have to wear masks. You didn't have to get vaccinated. You could do what you needed to do. You could do all those things based upon your personal decisions after you've done your research, but you didn't have to. Now, there were still some places, like if you go into a hospital, you still had to mask up. But over on the other side of the valley in Ada County with Boise and Meridian, they were shutting down businesses and all sorts of stuff. They said that these health districts, they had this ultimate power. They had the Fauci wand of strength or something, and they could just do whatever they wanted over there. A bunch of, very progressive, liberal type of a thing. That's not going to happen anymore. Apparently, all the districts, I think we have 5 of them here in Idaho, they're all going to be as freedom-loving and freedom-directioned as ours was over here in Canyon County, Southwest District Health. Continuing on, civics and cursive writing shall be taught in K through 12. Whoever thought of not doing that is just unbelievable. Fetal development courses based on actual science must be taught in school. So what is that? That means that kids, age appropriate, grade appropriate, will be taught how babies are constructed or are created, from the very simple first step all the way to the end. Afterwards, they're going to have a more full opinion of what that clump of cells is in their body. Free speech is protected on college and university campuses. That might come from something to do with the BSU kerfuffle in that coffee shop, and the president of BSU, Trump. Well, after she lost that massive lawsuit, she skedaddled and she's going to be heading a university out in Vermont. Flying divisive flags is not allowed on government property or in schools. So essentially, and I think I saw an updated list that you could have the U.S. flag, the state flag, flags from other states, the POWMIA flag, and not a whole lot more than that. So other flags, they can still be flown absolutely, in front of, in your yard, in your business, whatever, but they cannot be flown on government property or in schools. This is kind of nice. Let's see if it works out. Judges can throw out frivolous lawsuits before they even get started. Well, wouldn't that save a lot of money? I mean, and I think this has to do with the SLAPP or anti-SLAPP laws that are going through. So if someone's just got a lot of money and they're trying to shut you up, they just start doing all these lawsuits against you. That apparently can now just be thrown out if there's no merit to it other than just someone trying to screw you up. And soon you'll be able to buy ivermectin over the counter. And why not? If you decide that that's what is good for you, if that's some kind of a treatment that you want to do, why not? Go right ahead and do it. I mean, heck, you can go across the border into Oregon and get heroin. And you can't get ivermectin here in Idaho? Those days are gone. And so what's on tap for 2026? How do we keep Idaho the best place to live free? That's something you might want to ask yourself, especially if you're going to be relocating up here, right? So you might want to get in touch with the Citizens Alliance for Idaho. Get on their mailing list. That's what we've done, and we get regular updates all the time. And remember I said I had a little bit extra news for you to help kind of cement your opinion. This is something that just recently happened. This is from our friends over at Idaho Dispatch and Boise's new flag proposal. So the mayor asked for people in the community to design new flags. It's funny enough, they all came up with the same 4 colors. I don't get that. That's pretty random, right? But anyway, the criticism has been that the new flags are all socialist looking. And I don't think that's a big surprise. If you all know the Boise mayor, right? Digging deeper, Greg says here in his article, given Boise's recent turn over the last 10 years to becoming a more liberal city, many are not surprised at the proposed designs. Boise Mayor Lauren McLean has never denied being a socialist with her political leanings, and maybe the new flag is intended to capture her tilt towards socialism. But part 2 of the story, here's your update. Again from our friends over at Idaho Dispatch. Guess what happened? Boise Mayor McLean pulls the flag designs after universal backlash. Boise Mayor Laura McLean announced Tuesday that the city will keep its current flag. Many in social media commentators had dubbed the 4 proposed replacements as socialist looking. She might be a socialist, but bless her heart, she's a politician too. She said, the Boise mayor, I've weighed that feedback, and one thing is clear. Boiseans are passionate about our city and our flag. I've decided that it isn't the right time to move forward with a new flag. So what does that mean? She got caught with her hand in the cookie jar, and she's going to wait till you're not looking. So that's just a quick rundown of some of the things that have happened at the end of our legislative session. To me, it gives great hope that Idaho is going to continue to be a great place to live, that our freedoms are going to continue to be well preserved, and our citizen legislators are very vigilant. You know, our legislators, it's only a part-time legislature. They literally are citizen legislators. So no, we don't have the Nancy Pelosi's and what's his name? Shifty Schiff. We don't have that. We don't want that. So remember I talked about that one thing about schools? Check out this video right here and get some more information on that. And if you are thinking that you might want to be relocating up here to Idaho because it is so great, give me a call, Maureen a call. We'd be glad to answer all your questions. Just powwow with you, let you know what's going on up here, and maybe help put together a plan so you can actually make that big move out of California, out of Seattle, out of Portland. Maybe it's New Jersey, I don't know, but you need to get to a better place. So thanks for coming along today, and we will see you on the next video.